Welcome to another daily MS Office lesson. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to find the information within a list of information or within a database. To do that, there are actually three methods that can be done with using Excel. Now, what I'm going to teach you does work on Excel 2003, 2007, 2010, 2013, and 2016. So any version that you have, this should work. The three methods are lookup, VLookup, and HLookup. Now, many of you have heard of VLookup and HLookup, but not lookup by itself. It's like, wait a minute, what's this? Well, that's going to be the lesson for today. We will understand everything there is about lookup. I will go into VLookup and HLookup in later tutorials. So to start off with, what I'm going to be talking about with the VLookup is that there are two ways to use lookup. You can use it in the vector form or in the array form. Now, just to get you all really excited, I'm only going to do one of these. I will not do the array form because in the actual help file, this is what they say. We strongly recommend using VLookup or HLookup instead of the array form. That comes right from the help file in Excel. So I thought, okay, they don't want us to really learn it, so they prefer using VLookup and HLookup. So we are not going to do the array form. We will only do the vector form. The next thing to look at is the vector form. This is again straight from the help file. It says use this form of lookup to search one row or one column for a value. So this is awesome. It allows you to select not the entire table, but allows you to say, hey, look at this column, look for this value. When you find it, look in this column and give me the matching information. It says use the vector form when you want to specify the range that contains the values you want to match. This is kind of cool as well because you could say, well, I don't want to search everything. I've got 50,000 rows. I just want to search maybe the first 500 rows or whatever. And therefore, you can do that in this formula. Very, very cool. I'm going to go ahead and show you the function. It's lookup value, lookup vector, and result vector. And I have to say, I am not a fan of those terms because I'm like, huh? So I'm going to break this down for you. What they're really asking is when they say lookup value, they're basically saying the cell. Like, I have a product ID, so I need the name that belongs to this product. Or I have a product name, and I need the price of that product. So that's basically what the lookup value is. I have. It's probably another name for it. I have the product ID. I have the product name. I need something else. And that's lookup value. Both lookup vector and result vector are columns. And you're like, what? Well, let's go into this deeper. The lookup vector, it says find the lookup value in this column. Basically what that means is, let's say again, you have the product name, but you need the price. Well, you are going to use lookup vector to say this is the column of product names. See? Now let's say you have the product ID, but you need the product name. Okay? I have the product ID, but I need the product name. Well, if you have the product ID, lookup vector is the area that's going to contain that product ID. Now, result vector is going to be the column that actually contains the information you want. So again, you have the product ID, that is lookup value, And the product ID is in column C, and that's going to be lookup vector. But you want the price of that product ID, and that's going to be result vector, and that might be column G or whatever. Let me give you an example here. I have a small list of information, and I've got product IDs right here on the left side. I've got the name of the product here, and I have the price of the product. So let's say, example 1 here, that I know the product ID. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt, like the product ID is 147 or something. I know the product ID. I don't know the name that goes with this ID, or even the price that goes with this ID. How do I figure this out? Well, I'm going to go ahead and click right here to the right of product name, and I'm going to start off with equals, and I'm going to do lookup. You don't have to capitalize it. Matter of fact, a lot of times I like to just lowercase it, like this. It doesn't matter. Then I'm going to do an open parenthesis. Now, there you go. Lookup value, lookup vector, and result vector. There they are right there. The bottom one that you see, which is lookup value array, that was for the array, which is, they told us, don't look at it. The help file says, don't look at the array. So it's the top one we're interested in. So lookup value, well, what do I know? What do I have? Well, I have the 147. I have the product ID. I don't know what the name of that product is. So I have the product ID. So I'm going to hit comma, and the lookup vector is, all right, I've got the product ID. Where is it? Well, the product ID is somewhere in this column right here. It's somewhere in this column. Now, yes, you can highlight the information like this, or you can click on column A like this to select the whole thing. I like selecting the information. So the product ID is in this column, somewhere in that column. I'm going to hit comma, back at the function here. And now, when I have the product ID, what do I want? Well, I want the name that matches it. And the name is in this column. So I close my parentheses, and I hit enter. And it comes up with a laptop case. It found the 147 inside of this first column. It found the 147. And then from this column, it found out that I'm looking at laptop case. That's how it works. It is awesome. Okay, we're going to do one more because I want the price now. Okay, I'm still going to use the 147. I'm still going to use the 147 because I know the 147 is laptop case and I see the price of 45. But again, this table might be 150 billion, well, okay, maybe not that long. This table might be, 200,000 rows long, and you don't want to search for it that way. So it's real simple to do this. So back in the price, and the function is equals lookup, real simple, not VLookup, not HLookup, just equals lookup, open parenthesis. Now, this is, what do I have? I have the product ID. I have the product ID, 147. I'm going to hit comma. Where can I find the 147? I can find the 147 inside of column A. Somewhere in column A, I will see the 147. Comma. Now, where am I going to find the price? Because you have to understand, you're trying to find the price. Well, the price is in this column. Okay? So I'm going to close the parenthesis, hit enter, and there's 45. The laptop case, 147, laptop case, is $45. Now, all I have to do is change this amount here and find something else. So I'm going to put 177, hit enter, and you can see phone and $4.99. Well, is that correct? 177, phone, $4.99. This is wonderful. Let's do one more. Let's type in 127. 127. Desktop computer, $199. 127. Desktop computer, $199. That's a good price. Now, let's go to another exercise, another example. In example 2, I know the name of the product, but I need to find out the price of that product. So I know the name, but I need the price. So help me out here. Let's say the product name is Monitor. Monitor. Enter. That's the product name. What is the price of the product? Okay. Help me out now. What do? All functions start with what? That's correct, an equal sign. Now, what was the function we're learning? Correct, it's lookup. Open parenthesis. Now, what do you have? What do you know? What do you have? That's correct. We know the name of the product. The product name is Monitor. Hit the comma. Where is the monitor listed? That's correct. The monitor is a product name listed in this column right here. That's where it's listed. Comma. But what do you want? What is the main objective of this? Great. You got the product name, but what are you after? You're after the price. So your price is right here. I'm going to close the parenthesis, hit enter, and $5.99. Now, don't always just take it by faith and say, yes, that is correct. Double check it. Let me go over here to Monitor, $5.99. Hey, it looks like it's working. But let's try a few more. Let's go ahead and type in laptop. That's $3.99. Was that correct? There's laptop, $3.99. This is good. Let me try another one. Let me try office chair. And that's $5.99. Well, is that correct? Office chair is right here. No, it says $2.99. Wait a second. What happened? It was working for the other two. Why doesn't it work now? Well, the answer for that is that the information that you are searching in, okay? So we know that we have the office chair. We know we have the product name. This column has to be sorted in A to Z, low to high order. Now, to do that, don't select the entire column. Just click anywhere in that column. Okay, you can click on the column name if you want to. Then you come up to the top to your Data tab right here. On the Data tab, look for the Sort icon. Go ahead and click on the Sort icon. Right here it says Sort by what? I want to sort by the product name. And I want to be sure that it is using this checkbox, that My Data has headings. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now we're set to test other ones. The office chair is now $2.99. Office chair, $2.99. This will now work for every single one of them. So if I type in printer, $3.99. Is that correct? Printer, $3.99. Yes, that works. If I type in 10 reams of paper, that's $59. 10 reams of paper is $59. This is wonderful. Now, you have to watch out. In order to use the lookup function, you have to do perfect matches. In other words, if I typed here that I looked for a motherboard, okay? Now, motherboard doesn't appear in here. Nowhere in this list is there a motherboard. But when I hit enter, whoa, wait a minute, it comes out with $5.99. Well, what it did is it went through this list and found alphabetically where motherboard goes before it goes over. So motherboard alphabetically is above the monitor, but it's below the office chair. So it gives us the monitor's price. So you need to watch out for that. It has to be a perfect price, it has to be a perfect product name, or in the previous example, back to this one, it has to be a perfect product ID. It can't just be, I can't just type 150 because again, that comes off laptop case, but there's no 150, you see. It found the closest one without going over. All right. I hope that helps. If it did, go ahead and comment below, do some thumbs up, and subscribe because there are a lot more videos coming.